Joining us is Wendy Craik, Chief Executive Officer of Darling Basin Commission. Welcome, Wendy.
Thanks very much, Nigel.
Wendy, how bad is the outlook for the Murray?
Well, I think it's pretty critical. We have very low inflows, about midway between the worst and one of the worst we've had in the last 2 years. Our storages are very low compared with where they would normally be at this time of year. And the outlook in terms of rainfall from the Bureau of Meteorology is really neutral to dry. So overall, you'd have to say after the number of years of drought that we've had, it's a pretty grim sort of outlook.
How important then is the purchase by the Commonwealth of Tyrrell Station near Burke and other proposed irrigation property purchases to the health of the Murray system?
Well, I think all the water that can be obtained is welcome for the environment. Certainly the environment has suffered enormously over the long period of this drought, and many areas in the basin haven't had a good flood since 1993. So all additional water is helpful. By itself, it won't do a great deal, but overall, it's all going to add to the increasing amount of water for the environment and the general health of the system.
Well, following that announcement, I see the Queensland government's released some allocations.
Yes, I gather they've gifted some water to the federal government, which was allocations that they were previously going to auction. Well, there goes a bit more water, and of course that certainly will all help the systems.
Records show that the Murray River either stopped flowing or flows reached very low levels in 1850, in 1902, and again in 1914-15 in that drought. Are the current extremely low storage levels just another cyclical event, or can we pin it down to climate change?
Well, what we found this time is that we've established many new record lows over our 117 years of record. So what we're seeing is inflows that were less than 60% of the previous minimum inflow for 1 year. We've had a 2-year record low inflow period. So they're lower than any previous drought that we've had, either the Federation drought or the 40s drought. The average inflow for the period is at record low. Also, the CSIRO and Bureau of Meteorology are giving us information like increased temperatures this time around, changed rainfall patterns from previous droughts. So this one certainly seems to be different. So if it certainly appears to be related to climate change, and it's certainly different from previous droughts.
How much rain would it take to bring the Murray fully back to life?
It's very difficult to provide an actual figure, but I think the description of rainfall of biblical proportions is probably the sort of volume of rain that we're going to need.
That would probably cause disasters in other places.
Well, undoubtedly it would cause some floods, but I think we would be very happy to have to cope with a flood at the moment after all the dry periods for the last 7 or 8 years.
Wendy, everyone seems to have an opinion about how to fix the Murray, but what immediate action can humans take to de-stress the system?
Well, I think it's pretty difficult for humans to do much more than they're already doing. I mean, communities are already on quite severe water restrictions, and minimum volumes are being provided for stock and domestic water. There's only a little bit of water for the environment, so we're making sure that we're providing enough water for people first. So I think humans are doing, as much as they can do for the moment, and I guess the only other thing is, and we're seeing this as well, that irrigators who decide they have some water left over that they don't either want to use or put away for next year are donating that for the environment. But above that, I think, there's not a lot else people can do.
Are you confident that the Murray will one day resume its former glory?
Look, there's no doubt that in sometime in the future it will rain again and there will be a flood, but all the predictions tend to suggest that climate change might be with us, or a changed climate might be with us for some time to come. And so it's a bit hard to see that we'll have the former glory that we've been used to over long periods of time. And it's pretty clear, I think, that what we do need to do is plan for an environment where what we're seeing now might be, we might see most of the time in the future and only occasionally see, a flood coming through the system.
We've got a water conference coming up. What points will you be covering in your presentation to the Regional Water Conference in Albury on the 20th and 21st of October?
Well, what I'll be doing is running through the current situation in terms of the drought, where it's at, in October, because these things can change. What that probably means for, the area generally, what's in the storages, particularly Hume and Dartmouth, in the area where the conference is, because they're our major storages and where we get most of our runoff for the system. How the available water is affecting irrigation and the environment, the lower lakes and communities, and trying to give a bit of analysis, I guess, about what the future might hold for us.
Wendy Craik, thanks for speaking with us, and we look forward to hearing your presentation at the conference.
Likewise, I look forward to being at the conference, Nigel, and thanks very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. For further information on the Regional Water Conference, go to www.iir.com.au/regionalwater/vid.